Well, good evening, race fans. Intensity Broadcasting here tonight with some more ITZR ARCA Racing, and it will be the finale here tonight as they will be crowning a champion here this evening. So Jacob here along for the call tonight, and we're racing in Iowa, the Iowa 100 for In the Zone Racing ARCA Series. And your current points leader, championship leader, is none other than the 91 of Dylan Bates, who has been on a monumental tear the last couple weeks. He's rolling in tonight with a 3-race win streak, a top 5 streak that has spanned the entire season. And overall, all he's going to have to do is put together a decent finish here tonight to lock up that championship. There is a chance that a couple drivers could knock him down from the top spot with a little bit of misfortune and chaos if it were to unfold here tonight. And so that would belong, the chance hangs in the balance with Daniel Pope II, as he currently sits 18 points behind the leader. Dylan Bates has been on a tear, and Dylan Bates comes out tonight doing exactly what he's done the last couple weeks. He should be able to seal the deal. yeah, rolling into tonight, there's only 4 drivers mathematically eligible to take the title. And those 4 drivers, obviously, 91 of Dylan Bates, the 11 of Daniel Pope II, Kieran Church, the number 22 car, and the 75 of Mike Alexander. Mike Alexander has the deepest gap to the lead that's still possible to take the championship at 37. After that, there's not going to be enough points on the board for anyone to catch Dylan Bates here tonight. So far, fastest in practice, you've got Larson Parker over Corey Bigley, Bill Tomer, Zachary Onen, and Kieran Church, top 5. Well, we're down to the final minute and 30 seconds here in practice. Then we're going to roll right on into qualifying here tonight. 100 laps will be the distance here from Iowa. And while we have 1 minute left here in practice, let me shout out to some of our sponsors that help promote Intensity Broadcasting. And so, bringing a whole new dimension to immersive entertainment, Butt Kicker has pioneered tactile feedback technology that lets you feel the action. Whether you're behind the wheel in a sim rig, or watching a blockbuster in your home theater, or in the studio dialing in the low end, with 2 decades of industry leadership, their haptic transducers convert audio signals into physical vibration, turning sounds into sensations. If you've ever wished you could feel that racing shift, explosion, or bass drop, Butt Kicker makes it real. And so Butt Kicker will be our representative for the replays here tonight whenever we have a caution or a yellow. And they will represent the yellow brakes here tonight. Alrighty, the session is over. And we'll get set up with qualifying here. And do the hot potato. Jumping from driver to driver. So here we have Doug Gaillard in the number 94. And Brady Weileman in the number 88. And evidently it is the rookie season, rookie campaign for Brady Weileman. That's actually news to me. He's had a win on the season already in that number 88 machine. And seeking some more victories before the end of the season. One more night, one more race to do it. There we have Bill Tomer in the 5. Daniel Pope the 2nd in the number 11. Brady Weileman on one of his hot laps here. This first timed lap for the 88 is going to be good for top of the line since he's the first one out. And a 22:89 is the time to beat. Looks like actually Jacob Boehm jumped to the top with a 22.77. Second laps are getting dialed in here. Zachary Onen, as we're watching him, this is his warm-up lap onto his timed lap here. Whoops, and Doug Gaillard spins it out on his second lap there. Credited with a 23.32. That is his qualifying time. And Zachary Onen, as he comes across, oh, he's losing it too. That was good for a 23:01 on Zachary. Brady Weileman, his second lap, jumped him to the top with a 22.68. Passing Jacob Boehm for the top position. And this right here is the guy we're going to have to keep our eye on tonight. He is seeking the championship to tie it up here. He's going to have to at least maintain a top 15 here tonight to lock it in. If he falls outside the top 15, that could start making things interesting for the folks that are still alive for the title. First lap was the slowest lap, so maybe trying to get it warmed up to take a hot lap on the second. His second lap, good for 4th in the lineup there, so not bad. Good starting position for your points leader. And here we're going to watch Mike Alexander, who has the outside chance to take it here tonight. And that was good for top of the board with a 22.64 for Mike Alexander. So as we await the end of the qualifying session here, your top 3 fastest in qualifying here tonight: Mike Alexander, Brady Weileman, and Kieran Church. Dylan Bates is going to roll out 6th here tonight. And as we await the official results, we'll go through the starting lineup just briefly here. Alrighty, so here we are with the starting lineup here tonight in ITZR Championship Finale race here tonight in Iowa. Mike Alexander, Brady Weileman, Kieran Church, Jacob Boehm, and Eric Tracy, your top 5. Followed by your points leader Dylan Bates, Bill Tomer, Matthew Barkhouse, Daniel Pope II, and Corey Bigley, your top 10. Then you've got Larson Parker, Cody Boehm, Dylan Schreiner, David Hill, and William Griffith. AJ Rogers, Josh Oswald, Aaron Abendroth. Followed by Zachary Onen, Tyler Rice, Tim Weinreich, Jason Lottridge, Rick Rube, Elliot Carlson, Caleb Hill, and Doug Gayer. Your 26-car field here tonight for the main event. So of course, 100 laps of distance here tonight. As the drivers are getting their harnesses set, checking their radios, making sure everything is all squared away for the race here tonight. These ARCA cars have put on a show each and every week for the 12 race campaign that we've had this year. There's only 1 week where we had a holiday break, and for the most part that was kind of like a midpoint break for the series. Other than that, they've been all the way full throttle to the ground in ITZR ARCA racing action. And it's impressive that Dylan Bates has been able to maintain a top 5 statistic. He's been able to finish top 5 every race this season. So why not try to go out there and make it perfect by finishing 12 for 12 with the top 5 on the season. Starting 6th here tonight, all he's going to have to do is gain a spot and maintain it for 100 laps. Very much easier said than done, as once you start these races, you never know the unpredictability. And especially with an ARCA series, it's often more unpredictable than, say, a Cup Series event. And that's one of the appeals of the ARCA series, is getting to see the up-and-comers. And sometimes, mistakes are made. It's not, no one's perfect. The racing is excellent nonetheless. We get to see, true passion and excitement, intensity. And that's kind of how the season started. We had a little bit too much emotions out there showing. Whereas early race winner on the season, Peyton Howell, who'd won the first 2 races, and then unfortunately from the lead got wrecked out of the following 2 races, has not appeared in a race after race 4 since that. So yeah, no, it's been an interesting start to the year, and this is going to be an interesting close to the year, as this season has 100 laps left unfold. Here we go, rolling for the Iowa 100. Brady Weileman with the edge on the 75 of Mike Alexander. All the engines go roaring into turn 1. They get singled up, top 3. And already into the top 5, you've got Dylan Bates sitting right there, nice and pretty. Jacob Baim in the 00 Tylenol entry there, running third, right in front of Kieran Church. Brady Weileman leads the way. Dylan Bates clipped the wall there on the backstretch that last lap. Might be a common trend we've seen pretty much every race. They try to get the entirety of the track to their advantage. And sometimes that's to the form of overdriving and clipping the wall. As long as they keep all four tires pointed straight, they should be fine. Already off to a good, clean start here tonight. 4 laps in. And the racers are playing it clean so far. Whoa, Dylan Bates got way high. Clipped the outside wall in the middle of turn 3 and 4. Now under attack for 5th as Matthew Barkhouse is inside of him. Settles right back down into 5th there. But there we have kind of a breakaway at the front of the field. Your top 2 driving, creating a bit of a gap. Mike Alexander in 2nd there. Brady Weileman the leader. Dylan Bates trying to climb back up as he gets around the 22 of Kieran Church there. And Kieran Church battling back on the low side, keeping it interesting. Whoa! 22 kind of washed up the track there, but the 91 managed to avoid contact. And now Dylan Bates up to 4th with his eyes set on a top 3 position here now. Impressed here with Jacob Baim. Qualified well and running well. 11 laps in, and he's on the inside fighting for 2nd. Top 3 kind of like a slinky here. They started to stretch out, now they're closing back in. So far, not very many big movers. We have one driver that lost a lot. The 12 spots lost for David Hill marks the biggest dropper here tonight, as he's dead last in the running order right now. Number 3 car. However, it seems like passing is at a premium here at Iowa. The cars are pretty well glued to the ground and not enough wiggle room to make passes on the people in front of you. Well, just like that, the 91's going to make me doubt my statement there as he's closing the gap on the 00. Looking to try and make a pass. Catching him's one thing, passing him a whole different story. And we'll see, that 91's got the speed, but does he have the right line. Does he have the setup to get around the 00? 00 drives it in deep here on the attack with the 75. 75 washes it out there, catches the outside wall, and that gives an opening for Jacob Boehm as he's right there side by side for second place. They'll drag race down the front stretch here. The 00 has the advantage rolling into turn 1. 75 not giving up though. He's going to fight tooth and nail to keep that position away from Jacob Boehm, and he does. Impressive battle between second and third place. And now look out as the 91's got a whiff of clean air in front. Also joining the mix again, it is Kieran Church up into the lead accordion here. If this thing stays green like it does here for quite a while, might actually start to raise the concern about if the drivers need to stop for fuel at any point here. 100 laps here at Iowa, which touch and go. It's not like we're at Bristol where you can run a 200 lap race without fueling up. Oh, and there we have our first caution. I'm wondering if we might see some people sneak down pit road under caution here. So the first caution of the night, and we'll go ahead and throw the replay up presented by Butt Kicker. And so it looks like the 17 here of AJ Rogers is the one bring out the caution here. He's right there behind the 23 of, I want to say that might be, that'll be Zachary Onen. Oh wow, the 12 gets spun there by the 17 of Josh Oswald. And then AJ Rogers just kind of a moment where he didn't realize that they'd slowed up that much in front of him. Ran into the back of the 17, Josh Oswald. And that car does not look happy. We'll go ahead and get one more angle here. And it might help if we look at the 12 here and see how this happens. He just gets a little lower on the line. The 17 didn't give him a whole lot of room. Just one of those racing incidents, I suppose. And, ouch, the 6 of Tyler Rice came in there and cleaned out the 1-7 of AJ Rogers. So tough hit there. And so that'll kind of break up the action a little bit here. We did have a small group, it looks like, that went to pit road. Not a whole lot. Maybe about 8 dropped down pit road, most of which were at the back of the field anyways. And while we're under caution here, I would like to represent another one of our sponsors that helps out with Intensity Racing. In racing, everyone prepares for the competitors they can see, but one of the toughest opponents a driver can face never shows up on the timing screen. The hidden opponent is tackling the mental health battle inside the helmet, educating athletes, supporting teams, and giving the racing community language, tools, and leadership to talk about what usually stays silent. Because when drivers confront the hidden opponent, it doesn't just make them faster, it makes the whole garage stronger. And so coaching and mental health awareness is a huge key to the hidden opponent, and we are proud to have them as an associate with Intensity Broadcasting. Back to the racing here as I get fold up. There we go. The 88's got the lead, but the 91 is coming through the field. Dylan Bates gets by the 75. Mike Alexander falls back to third. Running in fourth, you have Jacob Boehm, and then fifth place, Matthew Barkhouse. But the 22, Kieran Church, is right there on his inside. Whoa, the 19 spinning out. That was getting a little bit ramped up there. Just a little bit more intense was the racing, it seemed. And everyone was going all out like that was the last restart of the race here tonight. And so we'll go ahead and bring up the butt kicker replay here again. And so we missed it by a hair. Let's go ahead and bounce back to that. And so side by side, you've got the 22, that's Kieran Church, and the 19 of Matthew Barkhouse. Kieran Church, it looks like he's way loose on the inside there, taking the very bottom of the track. As this wreck materializes on the backstretch more so, watch him come out of turn 2. His car's still a little bit slideways as he's continuing to slide up the track towards the 19. He corrects it there. The 19, I think, we'll see if he tries to cut low, thinking he was clear or if there was just something that went wrong. Yeah, I'm thinking the 19 thought he was clear. The 22 cut low, clip the 22, and then he's going to slide up the track, collect the 11 of Daniel Pope here. The 28 of Corey Bigley slides through it. But that is your second in the point standings. Daniel Pope getting caught up in a wreck not of his doing here. And so that is your second caution of the evening here. As they always say, cautions breed cautions. Well, it seems like Daniel Pope has gone a lap down here tonight, so title hopes are down the drain. Alrighty, getting set up for the restart here on lap 30. That'll leave us with 70 laps left to go here tonight. Leading them to the restarts, Brady Weileman and Mike Alexander.
Green flag, green flag.
Brady gets a great jump there. So does Dylan Bates, who jumps up into second, taking the spot away from the 75 of Mike Alexander. Corey Bigley jumping up into the top 5 as well. Not to forget even the 92 there, Dylan Schreiner, who's gained 8 spots here tonight, up 8 into the top 5. Another big gainer we've had was Caleb Hill, who's up plus 13 from 25th, and Elliot Carlson up 10 spots into 14th. But at the moment, Dylan Bates doing exactly what he must to keep this championship locked down. As long as he finishes top 10, he is going to be walking away the ITZR champion this year, or this season, in the case that maybe we might have another season within the year. Here we go. Dylan Bates stalking his prey like a shark in the water. He is testing the lines here to try and figure out where he's fastest on the 88. The 88 might just be a sitting duck here. Making the move down into turn 1, side by side. The 91's got a little bit of an edge here. Weileman keeps the lead away from him, but for how long? As these two have really started to stretch it out. 00 of BAME up to third, getting by Mike Alexander. Alexander has dropped 3 spots since the start of the race, back into 4th. But you gotta imagine this being the last race of the season. Some of these drivers don't want to walk away at the end of the year without having had a win. So I almost wonder if Jacob BAME hanging around in the background there might not be a dark horse to try and take the win here tonight. Both Brady Weileman and Dylan Bates, of course, have seen victory lane this year. But Jacob BAME, might be riding with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. And so we'll see. 00 starting to catch the leaders here. How much is he going to push it? Whoa, and the 91 got loose. Here we go. BAME right there catching up to Dylan Bates. That slide job, slideways on the back into the lap there for the 91 has definitely allowed the 00 to catch up. Well, 91 starting to close back in on Weileman. It seems like he's got the speed, and it's just a little bit on the edge of out of control, which honestly is the way you want to set up a race car. You want it to be fast and on the edge of out of control. That's usually how you pull off victories. And Dylan Bates he's almost bump drafting the 88 there. He's going to try to go high. The 88 cuts him off there. The 91's going to try to go low. Is he going to have the momentum? Is he going to have the advantage? Side by side through turn 4. Coming down the front stretch here at Iowa. 91 was just behind by a hair as the 88 led that lap. Weileman not letting him go by without a fight. Drives back around him on the outside, trying to get a little bit of side drafting involved here. Yeah, there we go. They're both sideways. Oh, the 88 just lost it. 91 by bulldogging his way to the front there. Kept the 88 and forced him to make a mistake. Well, here we go. Dylan Bates trying to make it 4 in a row. And he's secured the lead before halfway here tonight. Brady Weileman might have a fire lit now after that little dust up with the 91. It was pretty clean. I mean, they were racing each other hard. I think the 88 was trying to drive him just a little bit harder than the 91 was. And unfortunately, he paid the bigger price there at the end of the battle. Well, Jacob Boehm starting to kind of stagnate there a little bit, not catching him as fast as we saw him. I wonder if the 88 was kind of holding up the 91's pace just a little bit, because we'd seen the 00 really closing in on Dylan Bates. We do have a little bit of lap traffic in the horizon here. That looks to be the 11 of Daniel Pope, trying to get some laps in here after getting in that wreck. Leaders go around him pretty quickly here. Well, how about that? Moving up through the field, we got Bill Tomer into third. Kind of like Mr. Where Did He Come From? Kind of a Kevin Harvick-esque move to get up into the top 3 here. He's gained 4 spots and is continuing to trend in the upward direction. Whereas the 75 of Mike Alexander, it seems like the car's kind of fallen away from him here. He's settled into 4th. Larson Parker running in 5th. And Brady Weileman recovers, and he's right there alongside fighting for 5th with the 18 of Parker. But driving away with it right now, Dylan Bates has a pretty healthy lead. He's starting to grow it up in the direction of a 1-second advantage. Well, we've settled into a nice long green flag run here tonight. Those 2 cautions came pretty early, but since then the racing's kind of stabled out here. Jacob Baim starting to close the gap in a little bit here, not by a whole lot, but still catching up. He's turning the quicker laps to that of Dylan Bates by about barely a 10th or a 1,000th, but still quicker. Another lap time, another 10th quicker. And what happens when he catches Dylan Bates, though? This is the big question. He turning all these fast laps to the leader's times, but if he catch up to his back bumper, he's going to have an opportunity to pounce. And this time it looks like Dylan Bates had the faster lap by a hair. The back and forth, though, I mean, that 0-0. He's going to be a contender here tonight with just 40 laps to go. That's where you start to factor in, did Dylan Bates overcook his stuff, trying to get the lead away from Brady Weileman? Has Jacob Bain been saving this whole time, waiting for a later race push to make the moves count? We'll see. And he's still closing up. He was a 10th fast that lap. He might be another 10th faster this lap. Yep, just like that, another 10th faster. Another 10th of a second erased from the lead. Whoa, and here we go. You can see the gap shrinking exponentially each lap. The 91 struggling a little bit here as another 10th gets knocked off out of the lead. Jacob Baim is right there knocking on the door. And so far, this has been a season where we've only seen 5 different winners in 12 races. So could we see 6, make it a 50% ratio of different winners here if Jacob Baim has the chance? No, man, that was a another wreck for Matthew Barkhouse, it looks like. Well, unfortunately, just clips the 12 there of William Griffith. And he comes back out to rejoin the racing surface right in front of your leader. It looked bad, but it just kind of got loose there. And now everyone's going to pit. This is where the race can be made or broken here tonight on your pit stop. Track position is huge, but we'll see who comes out of the pits with the lead. I don't think very many people stayed out, so everyone who wants to try and win the race here tonight, pitting so they can have a shot at it. Whoa, the 75 made a killer pit stop. He's going to rejoin the race first. Maybe a quick 2-tire stop if they're taking tires. So Mike Alexander killed it on the pit stops there. Dylan Bates comes out second. Larson Parker 3rd, Jacob Boehm 4th, and Bill Tomer 5th. So now this just got a little bit more interesting as Mike Alexander wants to try a strategy move here to get the lead back. Alrighty, back and rolling. 75. Man, he got a large jump there, and I'm not sure. That just seemed a little different, but we'll see what unfolds here. I mean, when you're racing against the likes of Dylan Bates, you kind of have to push the envelope a little bit. And Mike Alexander, man, he just overfilled the envelope on that one and killed it on the tree. Oh, side by side going into turn 3, 91 of Dylan Bates is going to get there, and he's going to get square. Dylan Schreiner spinning through the grass. Is he going to be able to? It looks like he was able to recover it. Rejoins back at the tail end of the field. Dylan Bates back to the lead with 29 laps to go. Moving into second there, Brady Weileman back on the mend. Puff of smoke in the background there. I think someone might have clipped the outside wall. Dylan Bates, he's going to have to defend against Brady Weileman. Jacob Boehm, who's still very hungry to get a win this season. And then also, number 18 there of Larson Parker would be seeking his first win of the season. So, very large group of hungry drivers here in the top 5 looking to win. Laps are working against him though, with only 26 laps to go. Dylan Bates making it look easy as he's held the lead pretty steadily here tonight. Each time he takes the lead, he really has not looked back. It was looking interesting though with Jacob Boehm closing the gap on that last run. If it would have stayed green, I feel like Boehm might have had the right stuff to take it to Dylan Bates. But since everyone pitted to get freshened up, it might just be the Dylan Bates show to the close of the evening. Brady Weileman keeping it really close here. Their lap times nearly identical each lap right now. How could they be turning that close of a lap time is beyond me. But they are nearly identical, tit for tat, lap to lap. And Brady Weileman, he probably remembers how he got used up on the first stint of the race. So, you know, you can always dish it back. 91 and the 88 drove hard. Now drive hard against each other here just in the flip-flop. The 88 having to race hard against the 91 again. The tables are turned. We got to see the first half of the race with these two. And now closing out the second half. A great battle is sure to ensue. Brady Weileman's right there. And maybe biding his time just a little bit, knowing that it's not urgent to make a pass for the lead right now. But knowing at the same time that the urgency picks up lap by lap. They were identical in the lap time category again. 23.13 and a 23.14. Brady Weileman might be a little bit faster here, seeing him close that gap on the 91. Wow, 23.22 and a 23.21. That secondary, the faster number is Brady Weileman each time. He's just a hair faster than the 91. 91 is under pressure here. Put yourself into the pressure cooker and you're gonna get burned. Yep, the title hunt has kind of dried up here tonight as Daniel Pope out of the running, or at least laps down here in the running. 22nd. Dylan Bates's other contenders nowhere near him as he leads the race, which is all he needs to do to secure the championship. Here we go, 16 laps to go. Brady Weileman's lap times have still matched the 91 of Dylan Bates pretty closely here. Almost every single lap. It's only been about 3/10 off the lead here. And Dylan Bates was faster that last lap. Wow, it's getting interesting here. I don't expect revenge. These two race each other very clean. Brady Weileman's right there, taking the lead away from the 91. Now, the 88 putting the opportunity to do exactly what the 91 did last time and use him up. So now the 88 on the offense here, and man, the 91 knew not to try and fight on the high side. He drops in line. Whoa! You could barely fit a piece of paper between the two of them there, as the slide pass over maneuver on the 91 puts him back inside of the 88. He's using the draft to his advantage here and trying to get the 88 out of sorts again. Man, for the 88 of Weileman, there's really never a great time to take the lead away from Dylan Bates. You could have been 3 laps to go, and it would have been like passing a kidney stone. This is hard territory to be in. And the 91 is hounding him for the position. Meanwhile, this has made it more interesting as Jacob Ames closed up on the top 2 here. And we have a 3-dog fight brewing for the win. Great run by the 91. He's going to have the inside line here, rolling into turn 1. Brady Weileman staying high. And Brady Weileman yet again in a very common trend that we've seen here tonight between these two drivers. 88 stays high. Whoa, and he cuts the 91 no slack there as he drove him all the way to the bottom of the track. Great racing for the win here tonight. These drivers giving it their all, laying it all out there on the line. 91 gets slideways there. The 00's knocking on the door. Here comes Jacob Ames driving on the inside of the 91. 91 gets drove up high there. The 00 trying to close the door on Dylan Bates. Bates falls to 3rd. Jacob Ames got loose there. He recollects it, but he's losing the momentum that he was carrying to try and catch Brady Weileman. Weileman, at the meantime, is seeing this in his rear view mirror and is enjoying every minute of it. 6 laps to go. That had been worth the price of admission there, folks. Every lap, the battle just kept throwing you another haymaker, left and right, bob and weave. And now for Brady Weileman, the only thing he does not want to see at this point is a caution. Caution will erase the advantage that he has and put us into the ever unpredictable overtime scenario where no driver wants to find themselves as a leader. There's a little bit of lap traffic ahead. That may be the 11 of Daniel Pope again. 00 has defended his second spot here for a little bit. The 91, though, trying to attack. Dylan Bates running all over the place, going high, going low, cutting across, back and forth. 3 laps to go here in the final race of the season. Well, here we go. The 88's rolling around with the advantage. White flag means that there's nothing to worry about. The race will be official. The 88's only got to bring it home now. Weileman got a win earlier this season, looking to secure his second win here in the finale tonight. And he's going to do it in style. Great battle between him and your points leader, Dylan Bates. He's going to win here in the 12th race, bringing it home for the Iowa 100. And his second race of the season. Second win of the season, that is. Your champion, none other than the 91 of Dylan Bates. Bringing it home third to secure the title. I'm wondering if we're going to see a little bit of double burnout action here. Then you got the 91. Obviously, the 88 won the race. So I imagine we might see them both doing victory donuts here in the infield. Yeah, there you go. It's kind of hard to catch both of them in the camera angle there. There, that's better. How cool. Dylan Bates gets the job done here tonight. Brady Weileman wins the race. All in all, no big drama for that title. The playoffs really went the way of Dylan Bates. 3 wins in 4 races. Top 5s in every start this season for the 91 team. He closes out the year with 4 wins total in the 12 races. So a 33% win ratio, win status for the 91. And so we will go ahead and pull up the lineup here, finishing results here tonight. And Brady Weileman, Jacob Boehm, and Dylan Bates, your top 3. So we will go ahead and pull into the booth here, interview your podium third place finisher, the number 91 of Dylan Bates, the season champion. I got you in the booth, Dylan. Do you copy?
I gotcha.
Well, that was an exciting race from flag to flag here tonight. I really enjoyed watching the battles between you and Weileman, and then you and the 75 even battled for a while there too. I mean, it was a great night of battles. How did you feel with the battles that you were in here tonight?
Yeah, I definitely used the tires up a little bit, battling hard there, but that second run, it just seemed like I drove the tires off of it way faster than the first run, and just couldn't hold on to it. And I knew I pretty well just had to finish to wrap up the championship, and I figured I'd keep the top 3 streak alive while I was at it. So just kind of laid back and stayed in third and finished out the season.
Heck yeah! No, it was a well fought battle from the first race of the season to the last race of the season, and definitely was different. You know, we had the start of the season with Peyton Howell, who had put it, in victory lane back to back, and then he disappeared from the season. So, uh, it would have been cool to see the battle between you and him. That would have been pretty intense, I think.
For sure, yeah. The more faster cars we got, the better. Definitely makes it more fun. But yeah, still we'll take it and had a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, congrats on the championship. Is there any sponsors, friends, family you want to thank here at the end of this one?
Nah, just all the guys at Velocity Motorsports, and like I said, Bill and Jeff and Pope for putting this series on again. Good to be back and back in championship form with ITZR.
Awesome. Well, you have a great night, my dude, and I look forward to future ITZR events with you guys. So,
Well, thank you, man.
yep. And so now we will go ahead and interview Jacob Boehm. I don't believe we've actually interviewed him yet this season, so this will be a welcome interview. Jacob in the booth here. Do you got me, Jacob?
Yes, I do.
Heck yeah! How was that? You kind of showed up there tonight and had the speed. What was so different about Iowa? Is this a track that you're more comfortable with?
Yeah, it's more of a throttle pattern track, and that's where I do a lot better than most others. I feel like I had like really good long run speed. I just kept getting killed on the restarts, and especially that last restart. I'm sorry, before that last restart, I was tracking down Dylan, and we were talking. He was about to let me go because I was significantly faster than he was. And then that caution came out right there. Then I restarted. I think the 75 and the 18 took two tires, um, which no fault to them. They were just trying something different. Didn't work out in my favor though. I felt like I got kind of tangled up with the 18 for a little bit trying to get by him. Nothing that he did wrong. It was just really really tough to get by him on the bottom. So I had to send it in pretty hard, and that kind of grew like a second difference between me and the leaders. So uh, I think that was like a 30 lap run towards the end there, and with I think it was like 10 to go, I got to the back of both Dylan and Brady, and I felt like I had the fastest car. Made my move on Dylan, and then I couldn't complete that pass cleanly, and that took an extra lap or two. So Brady pulled away pretty easily, and then after that, Brady was just on a rail, so he took off. So congrats to him.
Yeah, it's usually the hardships of racing. Sometimes you get bit by the strategies and the cautions, and sometimes they fall in line with you. And so yeah, that one run it did look like you were closing the gap on Dylan Bates. Had the caution not come out, do you think you would have had the goods to make it to the finish, or were they gonna get shot by the end of that run? You think?
Honestly, I think I was doing a pretty good job saving my tires. More so just the lane I was running. I was giving it my all the whole time, but I was running a little different of a line, opening up my entry a little bit and waiting to get back on the throttle. Whereas, some of the other guys up front, they were smacking it off the wall darn near every turn. So definitely wouldn't have made it on gas. I think all of us were a little short there, except for those that pitted on the first caution. So regardless, I think even if that had gone green, yeah, I would have gotten by Dylan, but I would have found a way to screw it up on pit road for sure.
Well, no, second place is still a great night of racing for you. Is any friends, family, sponsors you want to thank here?
Yeah, special thanks to Josh Oswald, rest of Velocity Motorsports. We had fun in this series, so thanks to ITZR, Bill Tomer, even when he's not wrecking me, I appreciate him running this league for us. Very well ran league for the most part, and can't wait to do it again next year.
Heck yeah, I'll
And
be
thank you
ready.
as well. I apologize. Thank you for broadcasting.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it was great racing all year. I enjoyed watching everyone put on a great show. So I look forward to the next season for sure.
Thank you.
Yep, have a great one.
You too.
And so, number one on the night here in Iowa, getting his second win of the season, bringing it home here in the number 88 machine. It is Brady Weileman. I got you in the booth, Brady. Do you copy?
Yep.
Man, what a wild night of racing. You had the lead early, and the 91 was on rails early and blew by you. It was hard racing. I don't think there was any dirty play there. It was just each driver giving it their all there. Um, how did you manage to fight back to get the win here tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really expect to lead as much as I did tonight. I didn't have much practice, but I guess I'm better than these guys on the bigger tracks since they're more short track guys. But they all raced great. I mean, all kept me honest and stuff. You know, Lap 44, Dylan and I, got into it, but it was net code, so nothing really we could have done there to avoid that. But it was fun battling him all night. That caution towards the end there, the last caution really helped me. Got the four tires, was able to get past all the guys on the top, and then try to save behind Dylan. And then Dylan and I got side by side, and then rolled him on the top, and then Jacob came in there, and we were all battling, and then all of a sudden, I was able to get ahead of Dylan there. So yeah, that was great racing, and it was just fun battling Dylan there. I want to congratulate him on the championship too. He had a good season, so yeah, that was a wild race.
Yeah, your second win of the season, and like you said, maybe a little bit more skill sets honed towards the larger tracks. Your last win came at a large track too, so no, it's trending in the right direction. You could be a contender in this series going forward. Are you going to be running it
Yeah.
again next time?
Yeah, I'll definitely come back to this league. It's greatly run. I really like what all these guys do here, and it's a lot of fun. And I always wanted to try to get better at the short track stuff, so it's a good experience. And it's couldn't probably find a better place to do it than here. So and a lot of great guys in this league, and I'll probably come back if they do something else after this.
Well, I can totally relate on the short track side of things. Whenever I get thrown in a car to short track, I am usually a rolling roadblock for myself. So it's great to get that experience and then pick it up and roll with it. But other than that, any friends, family, sponsors you want to thank here tonight?
I just want to first off thank everyone at ITZR, Bill Tomer. He puts on a great show every week. Like I said, every time I've been up here, he does a great job. So thank you to him for the league, and it's a great league. If anyone's watching, doing iRacing, not in the league, come in here and race it. It's a lot of fun. I just want to thank everyone in the race for racing me clean. Dylan especially for racing me up front as much as we did. We were close side by side racing, and it's a lot of fun. I want to thank my sponsor CTD. They make great bowling products. Thank my parents for watching. You for broadcasting. You do an amazing job. That's about it.
Well, cool beans, my dude. Enjoy the win and have a great night.
Yep, you too.
Well, and that, folks, is a wrap here for ITZR ARCA Racing action here at the end of 2025. Your champion of the season, Dylan Bates, the number 91, takes it on a 4-race win season out of the 12-race championship and had a 3-race stretch at the chase when the chase started, the playoffs started. 3 in a row for him. Wasn't able to make it 4 in a row here tonight. Managed to make it top 5 in every finish this season. A great way to crown a champion, if you ask me, with top 5 streaks such as that. But to not discredit the man of the hour here, winning the race for his second win of the season, this ITZR ARCA Series is definitely stacked with some contenders. And I'm going to look forward to what they've got in line next season, because they should have a very stout crop of talent looking to take the title for next year. Great season. I was loving every minute of it, and now I'll be looking forward to the next one. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Thank you for the opportunities for Intensity Broadcasting and for the ITZR series to put on such a great series. Couldn't have done it without the fans, without the drivers, without the support. And here we are, one season under wraps here in 2025. We look forward to what comes next, but until then, we'll relish and celebrate the memories, the races that we've had this year. And until next time, whether it's 2026 or on, we'll see everyone in the next broadcast. Have a great night, everyone. Stay safe out there. This is Jakester, signing out.